This is the 100 Club, a special group of companies whose stocks have traded for 100 years or more. They started out with a metal fireproof wastebasket, and 100 years later, Steelcase is still in business and still turning out office equipment. I'm here with the CEO, Jim Hackett. Let's talk about this because you guys have been through a Great Depression, a Great Recession. What's the one big lesson that you can tell a company on how to get through this?
You know, the key to last 100 years is to keep changing the business. It's an ironic thing for me that this is a business that focused on work. And you ask yourself, how much did work change in 100 years? There's a huge shift in the way work has changed, but Steelcase followed the way users changed and responded accordingly, and that's why we're still very, very successful.
Steelcase reported in its last quarter that they are seeing more companies upgrading outdated office furniture and transforming spaces to meet the changing needs of workers.
If you think of what the smartphone just did to the personal computer at its desk, that explains why Steelcase is so popular now as companies have to modernize the facilities. There's a second thing too, which is that many workers, because they're mobile now, work in teams. And so as much of our growth is due to building team spaces as it was to building cubicles.
When I was looking at your business, I noticed that the government business had come down, but what I was seeing was, your Asian business had gone up. So did you net out, or are you up on your global mix of business?
Well, our global business in the most recent quarter was up double digit again this quarter, which is the 8th consecutive quarter that we've had double digit growth, while the industry has been, I would say, relatively flat. You referenced the federal government. The federal government's down for the whole industry. It's an important sector for us, but it's not as important as it is for the rest of the industry. We've actually diversified our business significantly over the last several years. So our revenue's coming in from healthcare, higher education, federal government, tech professional, financial services, etc.
Most companies talk about the raw costs, how that's really been an issue. Has that been an issue for you guys?
Historically, yes. I mean, if you go over a 2-year horizon, it was a significant input cost increase for us. We put in pricing that got on top of that, took a few quarters to catch up. Now we're in a period where the year-over-year inflation is relatively modest and the pricing is coming in. So we have incremental net pricing benefits this year versus last year. Over the 2-year span, we're getting back to break even.
All right, that's the CFO, Dave Sylvester. So, Jim, what's in store for the next 100 years?
That's a great question. One thing we can count on is people and work being our opportunity. And we think the future is about how we can actually augment the performance of people in spaces. We actually give them more capability beyond just a place to set their objects or a place to sit.
This market has fewer players.
We're coming into a Monday where we're going
would enter in a new stage of tech.
It's a stock picker's market.
Welcome to the 5 dumbest things.
Apple reported earnings.